Breaking news, House Democrats have effectively killed a Republican attempt to impeach the Homeland Security Committee Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas. House Democrats maneuvering to send Republicans' attempts to impeach Mayorkas to the Homeland Security Committee, which essentially kills the effort. Republicans campaigned heavily on promises to impeach Mayorkas over his handling of the U.S.-Mexico border situation. Out front now, Republican Congressman Ken Buck, he voted with Democrats to send this back to the committee. And Congressman, I very much appreciate your time. Why did you vote with Democrats on this one?
Because Secretary Mayorkas has not committed an impeachable offense. I disagree strongly with how he's handling the border. I think the border is porous. I think it's a threat to this country. But it's not a high crime or misdemeanor. It's not treason. It's not bribery. It's not the crimes, the issues that our founders set forth in the Constitution. And it's wrong. We're using impeachment in the last 5-6 years in a way that's just inappropriate, and it demeans really the integrity of the House.
You were obviously one of very few Republicans who took that stand. And I know, obviously, Congressman, you come to this conclusion after a lot of thought, because I know you confronted Secretary Mayorkas when he appeared before the Judiciary Committee last year, and you talked about how your constituents felt about impeachment. Here's what you said then.
My constituents want you impeached because they believe you've committed treason. They believe you're a traitor. They compare you to Benedict Arnold.
So that's what your constituents wanted. Obviously, you don't believe that yourself. You feel very differently. But how do you explain to them, well, I guess what you just explained to me, why you thought that was the right thing to do instead of what maybe your constituents would have wanted?
Yeah, it's a constitutional issue. And if we don't follow the rule book, we really demean ourselves and we demean the integrity of this institution. And I feel really strongly about that. I didn't vote for the first Trump impeachment or the second Trump impeachment. I'm not sure I would have voted for the Clinton impeachment. It's a drastic action to take, and it's inappropriate in this situation.
We are, of course, just 5 days away. I can't believe I'm saying this, Congressman, from another government shutdown deadline. Speaker Mike Johnson has proposed a two-tier plan that does not include spending cuts. Now, at least 8 Republicans have said publicly that they'll oppose it, and obviously he can only afford to lose 4 of them unless he gets enough Democrats on board. Do you support his plan?
I have not made a decision at this point. I'm actually leaving this interview, and I'm going over to the House Freedom Caucus meeting where Speaker Johnson is meeting with the House Freedom Caucus to talk through things. I'm not sure the bill is going to be the same tomorrow as it is today, and I want to just keep my powder dry at this point. But I appreciate what Mike's trying to do, and that is to get more appropriations bills passed. We are now looking at the end of next year, $36 trillion of debt. Moody's has just downgraded U.S. bonds. It's a very serious situation.
It is a very serious situation. There's no question about it, and one that neither party has frankly taken seriously enough when it comes to getting in power. There's just a lot of spending that happens, regardless of whether a D or an R is by someone's name. But I guess what I'm asking you, and I know you have maybe a different thought about this now that you're not running for re-election. Do you believe that, would you be okay to vote to support something if basically you're going to be voting with a bunch of Democrats to support Speaker Mike Johnson? You just did it with Mayorkas. Are you willing to do it again on principle of working across party lines?
I am absolutely willing to vote my conscience, to vote based on what I believe is correct. And if Democrats agree with me, great. If Republicans agree with me, great. I think that if we don't have some break on this spending spree, and you're absolutely right, this is a bipartisan bankruptcy. This is not just Republicans or Democrats, liberals or conservatives. This is bipartisan. It's gone on for years. It's both the White House and Congress that have engaged in this. It has to stop, and we have to take this more seriously. So if the Democrats want to join me on a vote, I absolutely will vote with the Democrats if we can get spending under control.
All right, Congressman Buck, I appreciate your time. Thank you very much tonight, sir.
Thank you.